Cobra.
What's going on, everybody? I'm John J. II, and this is Gin Promotions. Thank you for joining us today on a Monday. Happy 4th. If I didn't get a chance to tell you, happy 4th of July, the independence of our great 50 states in America. Happy 4th of July. Hope you guys had a good, safe 4th of July. Today, I'm joined with the one and only Sammy Shelbaya. Sammy, how you doing today, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. So today, Sammy's going to join us on the panel. We're going to talk about the Euros. We're going to talk about the final 4 teams that are presented to us for this tournament. It's been electrifying thus far. So I'm really impressed with what we've seen from all these teams too, from all the ups, the downs, the big upsets, and the teams that might have been the unsung heroes that have made it further than maybe certain people expected them to.
Shout out Denmark.
Yeah, Denmark, Switzerland. There's some teams in there that really performed themselves. Even Ukraine played their asses off. So who has impressed you the most as far as this year's Euros?
Denmark. So let's take it all the way back to day one, the opener of the Euros, right? Their star player, their captain, their leader had a heart attack on the field and nearly died. Well, technically, he died for a little bit before he was resuscitated. The Danish team didn't want to play anymore. They didn't want to play anymore. Like, I wouldn't want to play personally. Now, look at them. They're in the semifinal going against England. they have a chance to win the tournament. Nobody expected them to go from, wow, we're going to lose our captain, to we're going to make it here. At the start, after that first game, they were last in their group after 2 games. They were the last in their group. And now they're in the semifinals. If you want to talk about heart and playing with a passion, welcome Team Denmark. I'm rooting for Denmark to upset England.
Yeah, I've been rooting for Denmark this entire Euros tournament, and just to explain it in one word: resiliency, and to really rise to the occasion, rise above all the stuff, especially losing their skipper Christian Eriksen. That was a big deal. I remember watching that in the first day of the Euros, and that was heartbreaking. That was hard to watch, especially see him performing CPR on the field on him. That's a tough sight to see. So
it's hard. It's definitely hard.
If I thought it was hard as a soccer fan, I could only imagine how hard it was for these Danish athletes to watch that happen to their teammate.
It's related back to me back in my footy days. Our skipper went down with like a broken ankle, and no one wanted to play after. We didn't want to get our legs into the tackle. We were too scared, and we lost our motivator. It's very hard to overcome, and not a lot of people understand that. It's like, especially in the world of sports, it's very hard to overcome like something like that, because it's like, what if I'm next? And it's like an any given moment type situation.
Yeah, you never know.
Exactly. So for the resilience of the Denmark team to rally behind this and actually support, they're playing with a fire. They're playing with a passion that the other 3 teams are not playing with. They don't care if they win or lose. They're just doing this because they're doing it for Christian Eriksen. They're doing it for the people, Yeah. I just don't see that with the other 4 teams. It's a lot of glory, which is expected. You're playing in a very high competitive tournament. You are considering some of the best teams in the world. But with Denmark, that was something different. When you watch them play, they give it 100% on the field every time. And you watch it in their games, and that's why they win their games, because they're pushing till the 90th minute, 92nd minute, 108th minute. They're just pushing.
Yeah, they're dependent on some other players too that might not have been shining stars otherwise, especially in Christian Eriksen's absence. So it's been really impressive to talk about Denmark, and I talked about them a couple shows ago. I called it the Denmark story, and just how impressive. I mean, you could write a storybook about this story, just making it this far. I mean, nobody really expected them to make it this far, even with Christian Eriksen.
No.
So having them be here without him is pretty impressive.
I personally think if Christian Eriksen was still playing right now, they would not make it this far, let alone out of the group stages.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
Why is that?
You eliminated the fire. You eliminated the passion, the reason. You eliminated their why.
Yeah.
When you eliminated a team's why, it's over. Might as well not. Like Denmark, not to knock Denmark, they are a phenomenal team of athletes, phenomenal footy players all around. But I think the fact that now they're not relying on Christian Eriksen to make those plays for the team, and now working as a team as a whole, that's when you succeed. You know what I mean? That's when you can finally just be like, okay, we need to work as a team, and that's how they beat teams. If you watch the games they play, it's such a team effort. It's not a individualistic style at all.
Oh, 100%. You got to have team chemistry. You got to have a fluid motion, and you got to work. You got to have a lot of moving parts working as one.
Absolutely. No, you totally get it.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Final Four here. Let's talk about what we got left. So we have Italy, we have Spain, we have England, we have Denmark. Tomorrow we have Italy and Spain, and on Wednesday we have England and Denmark. Who are you looking at, and who have you seen in this Italian squad? Okay,
let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
The Italian team is devised of individuals of a whole. Roberto Mancini, the Italian coach, did a phenomenal job selecting players for this tournament that fit into his system, that fit into his machine. Not individualistic stars that you've seen in the past, rather than a full cohesive team. Let's be honest. Italy hasn't done. Can I swear on this?
Of course.
Italy hasn't done shit since 2006. No way. I'm gonna be honest with you. They won the World Cup.
They made it to the Euros in 2012, though.
And they got blown out by Spain, and a guy, Juan Mata, scored a goal on his first touch and assisted on his second.
Okay. They still made it there, though. I mean, doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter. But if you're going to get blown out 4-0 in a Euro Cup final, might as well not be there.
Yeah.
Make a competition. What happened in the 2010 World Cup? You guys didn't make it out to group stages.
I don't even know. Did we make it to the World Cup in 2018?
No, you did not. No, you don't. You have not done anything.
That seals the deal right there.
Yeah, you have not done anything since 2006.
Okay.
You've gone through manager. You've gone through player formation, style, player, everything. And I attribute the Italian team to applaud the development of the Serie A. Thank God Serie A is back. Italian football is back in full effect after years. From the Maradona days, the Ruud Gullit days, all these guys were in the Italian league at one point in time. Then we had the decline. Right after the years 2000, when you had AC Milan with David Beckham, Ronaldinho, Kaká, what's his name? Not
Ibrahimovic,
Robinho. Oh my God, what a team! Dida, Maldini. Oh my God, what a team! After that, decline. Sorry, Serie A went down. I hated watching Serie A. I think it was just a boring league. Now you're back with CR7, Cristiano Ronaldo, Dybala. The U.S. guy Weston McKennie is back in the mix. You have AC Milan, which is back being good again. You have
Inter Milan too.
Inter Milan, Romelu Lukaku, Ashley Cole, Christian Eriksen. Oh my God, what a team! What a team! So I attribute Italy's performance in this Euros to the development of Serie A, and you can clearly see. And here's the thing about Italian football, right? Let's look at the Italian team itself. You have Spinazzola, who's out. Towards Achilles, he's done.
That was heartbreaking to see. I thought he just pulled a hammy.
Yeah, me too. But he tore his Achilles. You have Insigne, who is one of the best counter-attacking football players in the world right now. You have Ciro Immobile, who frankly doesn't sit on the bench. That guy sucks.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, he is.
You don't like Immobile?
He has one move. He gets the ball, cuts back between three defenders, and tries to score. Man, I can do that. Nothing. No cohesion in that team. And he's the type of person that goes down in the box every single time. Like, no, man up. Come on.
Yeah, that was pretty sad. I watched that.
I think celebrated. Yeah, no.
The last game, I was just like, come on, man.
But you have the Italian wall. The Italian wall of Bonucci, Chiellini, Donnarumma. What's your right back? Well, your right back got injured, Spizzola, and then he used to play for United. Can't remember his name on left back. Wow, that is your Italian wall. Amazing defense. And now we can talk about that Belgian game. Amazing counter-attacking football, all catalyzed by their CM Verratti. Spinazzola on the left. A great forward passing motion by the top three.
Mm-hmm.
Led to the Belgium defense had nothing. Everything they did was either a foul, was either a waste of time. It was horrible. And then you stopped technically the best defense in the world. Italy stopped the best team in the world.
Yeah, so by FIFA rankings, yeah.
Yeah, if I'm gonna say this right now on there, this is the decline of Belgian football, and this is the start of a new era of Italian football. Italy has been developing this team for 10 years, but we haven't seen it. It's the same thing Belgium did 10 years ago. And now we're here, right?
Yeah, and they flipped the script.
Exactly. Spain, who? Spain skated by this Euros. I don't understand how they're here. Spanish football is on the decline. La Liga is on the decline. La Liga hasn't been good in like 4 years.
Yeah.
Sorry, like at one point in time, Spanish football was the pinnacle of football. Tiki-taka football, pass, goal every 3 minutes, pinnacle. That is football. They're trying to emulate what they did in 2010, what they did in the Euros in 2012, or whatever the Euros were, what they did.
Yeah.
And then now they're here like this. What is happening? This is nothing. So I'm done. It's over. For the first time in my life, I've been watching football and playing football since I was 3 years old. This is the first time in my life that I can only name 3 players on the team.
Yeah. I mean, you think about the Iniesta days, the David Silva days. I mean, that was the pinnacle. That was the height, I think, and it was hard for Spain and the entire La Liga. People that played. A lot of people that played in La Liga, they played for the Spain national team too.
Of course,
they stayed local, but it's been hard to match that since then. I think they were keeping their standards, keeping everything too high, where they couldn't really match it year after year because they're losing athletes. The people are retiring. What
they did was what Spain was known for, was developing young talent. They stopped doing that because they had such a successful team, and I don't blame them. When you have such a successful team in every position, it's hard to develop talent. It's really hard to be like, hey, like let's go get this youth guy in instead of Iniesta or Xavi.
Mm-hmm.
Or hey, David Villa, sit on the bench so we can let Morata run in. It's hard to do that. It's really hard because those guys are so good. And they can play 90 and be perfect. It's hard to do that.
Yeah.
But Spain, in my opinion, I don't see Spain beating Italy. I think Italy is going to outpace them. I think Italy is going to outpass them and outpossession them this entire game. I think Spain is going to score early, try to retain, but I think Italy is ultimately going to put them away. Hopefully in 90, but I can see this game going to extra time. But I think the score is going to be in typical Spain fashion, 2-1, with Italy going through to the final in Wembley. Now, here is everyone's favorite team in the Euro Cup nation, England. Is football coming home?
That's the question.
Football has been trying to come home and stuck in transit for about 10 years now. This is the funniest quote in sports, is football's coming home. England is the favorite by far. They've been the favorite before the tournament, during the tournament, and probably will be the favorite for the World Cup after the tournament. Do you know why that is?
I don't.
For the first time in English football history, they have chemistry. And I say for the first time in English football history, besides that 1966 World Cup win when Sir Bobby Moore lifted the trophy, I think it was in like Argentina or something, or Mexico or something like that. They have chemistry. And that's just because back in the day, they used to do this for pride of the club. You know what I mean? Not for country. It was they loved their club. Their club was their home. So these rivalries, Manchester United versus Man City, Liverpool, Everton, Chelsea, Tottenham, they fucking hated those guys. But now it's like everyone's getting paid the same. The rivalries kind of died. Hooliganism is kind of dead. But that has led to an amazing England team. I personally would think that engraved in English culture is choke artists. Same with Italy, by the way. Two of the greatest world's football choke artists. England can't win on penalties. Take them to 90, beat them in extra time, you put them in penalties, they suck. It's history. I'm sorry. I have not seen anything change for them. Italy's they have a pretty good track record with penalties. England have the most depth out of any of the teams here, have the most well-constructed system out of any of the teams here, yet I do not have faith in them winning. Track record.
I mean, the track record speaks for itself. And looking at that team chemistry is almost everything. When you think, especially when you talk about the Euros, it's so important to have team chemistry, to be able to pass the ball, get it to the other team's third. And it's hard to do that, especially because everyone, especially at this point in the knockout round, everyone's fighting for position. Everyone's fighting for that final game at Wembley. So you got to really take that in consideration. You got to take all your touches into account. Every touch matters. And to have that team chemistry and to get that ball into the opponent's third more effectively, that's going to make the difference, whether you make it or not.
Absolutely. Right now I feel bad for the people playing in South America because the Copa America is going on right now, but nobody cares about the Copa America because you have one of the greatest tournaments in football going on right now, and this is one of the greatest tournaments in a very long time since COVID-19.
Why do they have the Copa America and the Euros at the same time? Have they always done that?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't enjoy watching the Copa America, to be all fair with you. I think it's a pretty mundane tournament up until like quarterfinals when they all get Brazil versus Argentina. You're like, damn, this is great.
Yeah.
But this is like, I like the Euros better. I normally I don't think they normally did it, but I think just because of proximity to the World Cup, I wouldn't be surprised if like 6-7 tournaments are on right now.
Yeah, I feel like it's more of an impressive, more of a show-stopping type of tournament because you have most of football, especially looking at La Liga, you're looking at the British Premier League, obviously English Premier League, whatever you want to call it. Those are all in Europe. So you're talking about, and even Serie A. I mean, these major leagues are all in Europe. So that's why people want to watch it.
European football is the pinnacle of football. It will always be the best of football.
It's where the birth of soccer really is.
MLS, whatever you want to talk about, Argentinian League, Asia, nothing. European football is where it's at.
Well said. Let's talk about this Denmark team. So how do you think Denmark fares against a team like England that they finally have chemistry?
2 ways.
Because I think Denmark has chemistry too.
Oh, I think Denmark arguably has more chemistry than England. You want honest? Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Denmark's gonna beat England. I think Denmark is going to pull the upset of the tournament. I think they're gonna beat England. It's a feeling I have. I think this Danish team is just relentless. They just love to pressure you off the ball, which England is like. This is where you can trap England on the counterattack. Make their defenders run. Oh my god! I think if Denmark really sticks to their game plan and their system, people are going to be shocked.
Yeah, I think so too. And they're really fighting. They've really transformed into a team, into a squad that nobody really expected them to transform into, even with the absence of Christian Eriksen.
Absolutely, yes.
So, I mean, anything is possible for this squad, having people step up to the plate and rise and play in positions where they're not used to playing in and succeed and excel. I think that speaks for itself. But to really make it to this level and to, face a team like England where you can find cracks in their defense, you can really, Germany couldn't do it. But I don't think Germany had the best chances of winning or making it that far anyways.
The German team is on the decline. They want their coach out. The old players don't want to play for them. The young players just trying to find minutes. The German team, German Federation, if you're hearing this, man, revamp. We can't keep having this player overthrow the coach like we've had in the past. Like, no, come on. Revamp.
Revamp, restructure. That's the name of the game.
France being out of the tournament. If you want my final four in this was honestly Portugal. It was Portugal, Belgium, France, and England. Those were my four. Then I saw Portugal play France, and it was like 1-1 or 2-2, whatever it was, and I was like, no, they're not making it out.
Yeah.
Belgium, yeah, no.
Well, that Belgium-Portugal game, that was up for the taking too.
1-0. 1-0. Oh my God.
I mean, come on now.
Cristiano Ronaldo's probably last Euros. But the guy has a body of a 24-year-old. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's here for another 5-6 years.
He could easily make it to another Euros if he stays healthy and really takes care of himself. But
yeah, that's what he's known for. I think he could. Yeah. I think he could. Just knowing that guy is just a human. Just actually, I don't know how to describe the guy. He's unreal.
He's a human phenom.
A genetic freak.
Yeah, and he definitely has good genes to be able to make it to this point in his career and still, move like he does, appear how he appears. And to compete at the highest level possible. I mean, even look at Giorgio Chiellini. He's got to be 38.
Chiellini's old.
He looks old.
Chiellini's old. Bonucci is old. But they're just those guys. Those guys do not care about their bodies. They would die under the ball if there was representing Italy, and that's why I think Italy has such a good chance to win it. It's because Italy's ever since I was young were always the most prideful team. They would cry during their national anthems. They sing louder than anyone. They represent their country to the absolute fullest, and that's why I think they can beat anyone if they really wanted to.
Completely agree. I want to take Italy all the way too. I don't want to speak anything too soon. All these teams are great. They deserve to be here. Maybe aside from Spain, I mean, they won the games. They did what they had to do to make it here, but nobody really had them coming here.
Worst penalty shootout I've ever seen in my entire life.
What happened to Switzerland in that penalty shootout? I mean, granted, they did not want to play in 2 penalty shootouts. I don't think they could have called that.
I'm going to be honest with you. It was like Switzerland and Spain didn't prepare. So when you go to practice, you practice penalty shootouts. The goalie did his assignment. The goalie went to practice. He was like, okay, where is Asensio going to shoot? Where is Torre going to shoot? Where is Morata going to shoot? He did his job. He did his assignment. The Switzerland team rocked up there. The attackers just rocked up there as if they just were like, oh, we're just going to shoot the ball and we're going to figure it out afterwards. No strategy. You could see it. They were walking up and being like, where can I put the ball? And it was like, oh my God, you guys are professionals. You should know. You should walk up there and know where you're going to put the ball, where the goalie is weakest.
Yeah.
If it's the left side, I think 5 out of 5 should shot the left side. If you're a left foot, shoot the. It's a game.
Yeah, they went near post too many times. Where right footers were going left side.
They were doing too much. Same with Spain. Spain.
Yeah, that could have went either way. That was a crapshoot. I think they won. I think they won 3-2.
Yeah, I think the goalies each had 3 saves each.
I mean, you can only expect so much out of Jan Sommer. Okay,
you could, yeah.
He already played his ass off the whole game.
He had 3 games of just like unbelievable play.
Yeah, and he just had a kid too, and he flew back home for that, and still came back to play against Spain. And
Shaqiri,
can't count on your team. I mean, Shaqiri scored the goal, but
Shaqiri, oh my God, that guy, his whole career has been underappreciated, and I am like, this guy really needs to move to a club that's going to appreciate him. He went from Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, Stoke City. It's like a reverse movie. You're meant to go from Stoke, then you work your way up in Inter Milan, then finally get the call up in Bayern Munich and win the Champions League. This guy's been a regression, but he's so good. Like
that is kind of like a reverse movie. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Usually you think Stoke City would be a team that you'd either retire at or that you'd start at.
But he did answer the question: can he do it on a cold, rainy night in Stoke? And he definitely could do it on a cold, rainy night in Stoke.
So, I mean, I think I definitely agree with you. I think Shaqiri is underappreciated. I think there's a little bit more expected of him, but he also, especially in international football, international squad games, matchups, especially like the Euros or even the World Cup or even the Olympics are coming up. Switzerland's going to be there. So we got to see that cohesion with the team. We got to have his teammates.
Olympics are different. Olympics are like amateur football.
Olympics are different.
U23 football, but you can have 2 professionals on them.
Right. But you got to have teammates that might not be superstar soccer players. You got to have them kind of boost you up. And I think Lewandowski had that similar problem with Poland because he just didn't have that. I call it the Lewandowski effect.
Yeah.
And there's players you can look at, even Ronaldo, and Gareth Bale.
That Portuguese team is unbelievable. I can't believe they didn't make it this far. Oh my God, I'm so annoyed at the Portuguese team. They
underperformed.
Yeah, Lewandowski's. I totally agree. They want Poland plays aero football, so right down the middle, try to get us Lewandowski every time. And if I was a coach, I would just.
Oh, and they were glued to Lewandowski. If he had room in the field, I mean, chances are he squandered the opportunity, or in clutch moments he would perform and he would score goals, but those moments were hard to find when you got people double teaming him in the back. You got 2 or 3 guys. You got a center back right winger, a center back left winger on.
He's a double center back. Yeah, he's not beating that every time.
No, right? It's just him. He's a sole striker, so
absolutely.
He's not going to succeed.
Absolutely.
Anything else soccer related that you think about? Club soccer. What do you think the state of La Liga? You said La Liga is in decline. Serie A is in advance.
You're always gonna have your big leagues, your Premier Leagues, your Bundesligas, your Serie A's, your La Ligas, your League One. Forever and always. Premier League is always gonna be the best league in Europe, in my opinion. I'm a Manchester United supporter, have been since I was born, will till the day I die. I think after the Euros, I would expect a lot of big signings, but just to break away from Europe and talk about Team USA for real quick.
Yeah.
This is a controversial opinion. Not a lot of people are going to agree with me. But this World Cup, they're not going to be that good. I can tell you right now, round of 16, maybe quarterfinals, and they're going to get knocked out. But that tournament, when it's hosted in the USA, if you are talking about a chance to win a World Cup for USA, it's in that moment. It is that moment.
It's not this year, right? It's in Qatar, right?
Qatar, they're gonna lose. Qatar, you're sending a bunch of 21-year-olds to go play with adults. First of all, they're going to get physically worn out. They might be the fittest team, which is what the USA prides themselves on. Technically, being 21 and not experiencing that big of a stage, half their team is 22, 23 years old. Maybe 19, man. You have Gio Reyna. You have Sergino Dets. You have Kenny Weston, right? You have Taylor Adams. It's the Dest. You have Pulisic. You have a bunch of guys, and the only guy who's experienced the big stage is Pulisic. Yeah. But once you teach them, and that's how you learn. Once you teach them, okay, I can really play amongst these guys, that is when you are going to see the rise in U.S. football. Point blank. This year nothing. After they realize the level it takes to play at that high level, and I'm not talking Mexico, I'm not talking Team Canada. I'm talking going up against France and having Mbappe score 4 goals on you, or going against Portugal having Ronaldo jump over your defender, or Messi dribble between you. It takes those moments to teach these guys. And look, because of the rise in U.S. football, you see these guys actually playing with them. But Kenny West is playing with Ronaldo. Jorginho is playing with Jorginho Dest is playing with Messi. You have the goalie, what's his name? Whatever his name is. I forgot his name, honestly. I'm not a US fan, but he's in Man City. He's learning. That's how you learn. But they need, as a team, they need that experience of playing in a World Cup together. And then, mark my words, when it is hosted in USA 2026, and all these guys are in their prime, 25, 26, maybe Pulisic just towards the end, like 30. USA is going to be a force to be reckoned with.
And that's impressive because I don't really hear, just amongst my, my soccer network or football network, I guess you want to call it that. I don't really hear too much talk about Team USA because I've never really looked at Team USA as being too impressive of a squad. Not like a squad that really, I mean, the women's team, they're a different story. But for the men's team, I feel like there's too many super teams, super squads out there that come from nations that are that they literally come out of the womb and they're kicking a soccer ball. It's a different mentality when you're looking at Europe, you're looking at even South America, when compared to the United States, and especially international football. It's completely different than club football.
No, it's the MLS became a more competitive league. It was it stopped looking like every year it looks less and less like a graveyard league, which was, in my opinion, what it was designed to be. And US football is just exploding up. But this is a shout out to the sports in America, and it's a fact. They like high paced, high impact sports, which is confusing me on how baseball is so popular. Like football, I understand. Basketball, I understand. I don't know, but football is not. It's high paced. If you know what's going on, it's extremely high paced. But watching something for 90 minutes, watching guys pass the ball back, I understand where there's a lack of entertainment in that aspect. But I think once the male Team USA really puts on a show and really shows a strong performance, they're going to see a larger boost in Team USA.
I think that's a good point that you bring up, and I'm glad you did, because it's important to know how soccer, especially in the United States, has been undermined. Because you look at soccer, you see actual, American football, and then you have soccer, which is, traditional football, right? You see the American football fans, growing up, and I was even taught this too. Like, we used to call soccer players foot fairies, and there was just no appreciation for the game of soccer. Everyone's like, "Oh man, there's no contact in that," which couldn't be more further from the truth. If you watch any of these Euro games, there's big time contact.
I played for 17 years, and I can tell you that there is major contact in the sport of footy.
Yeah, and it's not for the weak of heart. So I think that it takes a different type of appreciation. You're not going to be entertained. It's not going to be touchdowns every 5 minutes. You got to appreciate every single touch, every single pass. You got to see the articulation of the offense. See how we build the build up. See how the build ups do. See how the counterattacks are.
Absolutely.
And there's different things. There's different aspects of it that might not be right in front of you that you're seeing with your eyes. But once you learn to appreciate
on the money.
Perfect. Yeah. Once you learn to appreciate that, then it's a completely different ball game. Then you enjoy every single minute of that 90.
Absolutely.
And you're almost, some games you're wishing, especially in the Euros, the knockout stages, you're hoping for extra time.
Yeah, I was hoping for extra time
because you want to see, because it's so good, it's so entertaining, and
so fun. It was so much fun.
I mean, I get so fired up about the Euros, and I put them, one notch, maybe half a notch below the World Cup. As far as, hype.
No, absolutely. I'm with that. Yeah.
It's just entertaining, man. It's great.
What do you think of VAR?
What do I think of VAR? Oh, that's a good question. So, I think that you might be asking that, maybe not, because I had my take on reviews and that entire process in my gin and tonic. So I think that VAR, it has its place. It has its place in soccer. You don't like it? You don't like it at all. I like it for the only way I don't like it is,
I hate VAR.
I don't like it when deciding penalties.
I hate VAR.
When deciding goals, though, if it's over the line or not, I think
that's goal line technology. That's fine. I like goal line technology. I appreciate goal line technology. Fuck VAR. I am sorry, but I play rugby, right? We have that in rugby. We have TMO, right? Telemovie official, right?
Yeah.
And that is to decide moments where the ref cannot see and cannot make an accurate call. Fair. If the ref can see it, this is the order. This is the pecking order. The ref can't see it, he goes to the sideline. Side officials can't see it, then you go to VAR or you go to TMO. Your first instinct shouldn't be go to VAR because you're too scared to make a decision.
I agree with that.
That ruins the game of football. Football, back when I was younger, actually back to like 3 years ago, the suspense. Oh my God, the ref made it's not a penalty. It's not a penalty. The ref saw it as a penalty. Now you can go. That was the beauty of the game, was the suspense. It was the
human element.
Yeah,
it's undermined now.
Yeah, now
it's not existent.
By the way, I don't listen to the ref anymore because all the players have to do is do this a couple times. You'll go check it and come back. The ref has no say. Before the ref's word was law, he was God. For that 90 minutes, that guy decided every aspect of the game. Now, man, the guy's undermined by Siri. I'm sorry. Like, what are you talking about? I can do VAR. It's on a computer screen. You just have to know the rules. There's no human element to it.
Yeah, you know what I do miss? I really do miss, as far as soccer goes, as far as, reviews and everything like that, VAR, how that all goes. I remember the days where there used to be a guy that was, maybe he was barely offsides. Maybe people are putting their hands up on defense, but they score the goal and it counts.
He
bangs it in. Maybe he's offside and they look back at it. But since they didn't call it, they didn't see it in the moment. That's a goal.
Here's the thing. VAR is Liverpool game. They called the guy offside because half his hand was offside. This much. Listen, if you're getting beat by half a hand, you're getting beat anyway. It might as well count as a goal. That's why I hate VAR. The offside goal should not be decided by VAR unless it's literally the offside rule. Like, you're so far in front of the guy that it's impeding him.
Yeah, and those are going to be called.
Not half a hand or a pinky or your shoulders offside. If my shoulder's offside, you're getting beat regardless. Put the ball in the back of the net. You are learn to play defense. You might be the best in the world, but if a guy's beating you by a shoulder, that's nobody's fault.
No.
You put your hands up like that, you take yourself out of the play.
Yeah.
That's all I've learned. When I was younger, in every sport I play, they play to the rest whistle. Me right now, if I'm a soccer player, fuck the rest whistle. I'm not gonna play to it. I'm literally going to play to what the guy upstairs on the computer screen says, because I don't care what the ref says anymore. If it's a blatant foul, the ref calls it. I can just do this, and he just walks on over, watches it, comes up. Come on.
It's a different mentality, different sport. I think VAR has really transformed the sport of soccer. I'm not really impressed with it overall. I think that goal line technology and things of that nature are useful.
I like goal line technology.
Because, those you need. I think you need a third party to determine whether or not that's a goal, and then might as well have technology. Hawk vision, it works great in tennis.
It's fun. It's good when you're able to use it right. Football took something that they could use to really help the game in serious moments when the ref was unable to make a call because he didn't see it and doesn't want to fuck it up. Go check VAR. That is fine. That is what it's designed for. It's not designed for you to second guess yourself every time because you're scared some player's gonna come and be like, you're an asshole.
Yeah, it shouldn't be overutilized. I think it should be utilized as a very last resort.
Yeah, no.
And if the stakes are so high where we have to make a call and we have to make a decision and it really matters,
I think
then use it. But I think not unless it's a last resort.
I think it's 90th minute penalty. You can't see it properly. And you're not scared to make the call. Go to VAR. But if you see it's an obvious penalty, call it. Don't go check it. Stick to your word. That's what makes football great. Is this human element that one person can decide the outcome of a game? I'm sorry.
No, yeah, it is. I mean, you look at
They automated it. They took the fun out of it.
Yeah.
And they took the suspense out of it. I'm no longer suspenseful about games.
Yeah.
That's my honest opinion.
I agree with you. And it's sad, and we see it happening all over sports. It's going to ruin sports if we let it happen. It's up to the officiating bodies of every sports league to save that league and really retain that human element, because it's very important. Let's talk about the Euro Gin competition. So Caden and I wish I would have done this with Sammy. I didn't know he'd be in town or not, but Caden and I have that competition going. He went 2-2, I believe, for the quarterfinals. So he lost. So for every 2 wins, he took a shotgun away. But he went 0-4 for the rest of the round. So I think he's at 5 now, 5 shotgun beers. Since I won all 4 of my games, my quarterfinal games.
You picked all 4?
Well, I picked these 4. I picked these 4 that are
well done.
That are on the screen. Yeah, thank you. Well, I picked these 4. I picked these 4 from, obviously from what we had already. We had, these matchups were already made, but I just picked the winners of those matchups. So Caden has 5 beers. I'm down since I won my 2-2. I had 2 shotguns, but since I won 4 games in a row, I take 2 shotguns away. So I'm at 0 right now. I'm dancing. Wow. I'm sitting pretty. So we're going to make another round. Hopefully we get his picks in tonight for these last 2 games. He might be able to get 1 shotgun taken away if he wins the next 2 games. And I think we're going to make it. The final is going to be worth 2 shotguns. So we'll see what happens with him. But right now he's looking at 5 shotguns. I'm looking at 0. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, I think that's all I got. Sammy, you got anything else?
No, honestly, thank you for having me. Love being a part of it. Love giving my info about my favorite sport. Yeah, transfer windows are up. We'll be talking about that soon after the Euros, which is super important in the world of football right now. And now it's time, after this final, it's time to look forward to the greatest event of the year, the 2022 World Cup. It's seriously, it's that time of the year. It's
right around the corner.
It's the Olympics, July 23rd.
Yep. So the Olympics are going to be next. We're going to be talking about all kinds of different sports. They got rugby in the Olympics.
Rugby sevens. I'll hope we try to cover every rugby sevens game that is present in the Olympics. Team USA is in it and have an amazing chance of placing. So if you're interested in that, check it out. But this is going to be an interesting Olympics with COVID and whatnot. Let's see how these athletes hold up.
Yeah, really excited. Really happy to have Sammy Shobaya with us today. I'll throw his handle up there. Check him out on Instagram. He's been great for us. And I'm really happy that I could really retain a couple guys that are really close to my circle to talk about the Euros. I didn't know these guys were really into soccer like they are. They've talked to me and told me that they're really into soccer, and I've heard different expertise from everybody. Sammy sent me voice messages talking about Italy, talking about Belgium, talking about Denmark, Italy. And, really it's impressive stuff. I like hearing about that because I'm into soccer. I've been into the Euros since the 2012 Euros, and I got FIFA 12 for Christmas. It was the best Christmas ever. And I just really took on a whole new appreciation for it. And to see buddies of mine that have that appreciation is really impressive. So
I've been growing up with the sport, so
yeah, he knows it more than I do.
So perfect.
Good stuff, guys. Well, hey, thank you for tuning in to the official Gin Pros live stream / podcast. I'm your host as always, John J. II. Have a great night.
Cheers, lads.